And that brings us now to the starting lineups. Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Consigli Ruggiero Funeral Home, located on Water Street in Milford, serving all faiths. David Consigli, director. Start with the starting lineup for Milford. Post 59, batting first is going to be the left fielder, Ben Majorano. Batting second, Nick Pedroli, the designated hitter. Third baseman, Braden Lewis, takes the number 3 spot in the batting order. Batting cleanup is the center fielder, number 11, Jackson Fournier. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Josh Bouchard. Batting sixth is the shortstop, Sam Schoenberg. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Sean Bouchard. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Joey McGee. And batting ninth is the catcher, Brady Iarusi, with Tyler Ballard pitching for Milford post 59 in the bottom half of each inning. And for Shrewsbury post 397, obviously Joey Guidotti getting warmed up on the mound right now. And leading off for Shrewsbury will be the center fielder, Connor Mudd. Batting second is the third baseman, number 6, Cam Kelly. The first baseman, Tommy Kersonis, batting in the 3 spot. Jackson Lucarelli, the catcher, is batting cleanup. Batting fifth is the shortstop, Drew O'Connell. Batting fifth is the left fielder, Owen Michalowski. Batting seventh is the designated hitter, Braden Lazewski. Batting eighth, the right fielder, Brian Herlihy. And batting ninth is the second baseman, Finn McDonough, with Joey Guidotti currently warming up on the mound. And let's get into tonight's colors of the game, brought to you by the Embroidery Bar in Milford, your local custom embroidery and apparel shop. Shrewsbury wearing the home whites. They are all white, almost old retro White Sox uniforms with the navy blue/black caps that have the big S on the front. And no surprise for Milford post 59, they're wearing the yellow jerseys with the navy blue trim. It's going to be a real good matchup here in this one, Brett.
Yeah, and this is going to be another challenge for Milford. We talked pregame how balanced Shrewsbury was, and this is now Milford's third road trip in 4 games. So they haven't had much time at home yet back at Pheno Field, so another test for them to prove their worth on the road against another solid lineup in Shrewsbury.
This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports Network is brought to you in part by Oliva's Market Catering and Gourmet Gift Shop. Make Oliva's your next stop for all your special planned events. So, Ben Majorano going to take his place in the right-handed batter's box. He's going to go up against Joey Guidotti to start things off here at Fitton Field. This is going to be a real entertaining matchup. Brett, 2 of the best American Legion programs in all of Massachusetts. 7:32 official start time here at Fitton Field.
The thing we've noticed as well, especially with Milford going up against higher caliber competition, these games move fast. They face Leominster, and we get a hit by pitch from Majorano there.
Guidotti tries to go with the off-speed pitch. It just lost him too far inside and clipped Majorano right on that left shoulder. He'll take his first base on the very first pitch.
But as we were saying, as they face higher caliber competition, the games move faster. When they faced Leominster and Northridge last weekend, they averaged under 2 hours in 7 innings, which is rocket-like pace in Legion baseball, so maybe expect the same today.
Nick Pedroli, the designated hitter, the lefty, takes the first pitch, called strike 1 after a fastball from Guidotti. Majorano leading off from first base, occupied by Kersonis. Pickoff attempt, just a tad late. Majorano slides back in time to remain safe at first base. A couple of different keys to the game for Milford. This is more so defensively in the bottom half of each inning, but Shrewsbury definitely a dangerous team on the base paths as Pedroli swings just a tad late and fouls that off for strike 2.
Yeah, I like Pedroli's approach here, trying to roll over this baseball to the right side, trying to force Majorano to maybe get involved in the play. Look for manager Steve DeVito to maybe put on a hit-and-run 0-2 here.
Pedroli gets set back in the left-handed batter's box. Majorano leads from first. Guidotti checks over at him, make sure he stays put. Here's the 0-2. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw from Lucarelli to second is not in time. So Pedroli is sat down via the strikeout, but Majorano is able to steal second in the process.
Well, the hit and run was on for manager Steve DeVito, but Pedroli just climbed the ladder and couldn't get a piece on the bat. Nice job by Majorano, though, getting a good lead and making that pop time over to second base. So Now you drop your 3-spot hitter in Braden Lewis with a runner in scoring position.
Milford showing some base running aggressiveness early, brings up the third baseman, Braden Lewis, who has been white hot over the last couple of games. He takes the first pitch off speed. It was a slider down low, ball 1. Again, Majorano occupied from second. Guidotti delivers the 0-1. Again, that off-speed pitch goes outside. Defensive alignment for Shrewsbury post 397. It is Lucarelli who completes the battery along with Guidotti. Kersonis is at first, McDonough at second, O'Connell's the shortstop, Kelly at third. In the outfield from left to right is Michalowski at left, Mudd in center, Herlihy in right. Here's the 1-0. Another off-speed, clips the outside part of the plate for strike 1, counts even. It's actually a 2-1 count. Scoreboard is not updated. My apologies. Here's the 2-1. That just misses outside, and now it's 3 balls for Braden Lewis and just 1 strike. Guidotti in danger of putting 2 runners on. Referee reassures it's a 3-1 count. Here's the 2-1. Fastball. Just clips the lower part right at the knees. 2-2, says the home plate umpire. Full count, my apologies. Man, I'm all over the place today. Too many roller coasters at Six Flags we were at earlier today. If you were watching earlier, I said referee, and I just said 2-2 when I said it was 3 balls a pitch ago. Here's the full count pitch. It is well outside, and Braden Lewis is walked.
It's the summer. Everyone's allowed a mulligan every once in a while.
That's all right. It was a really fun day at Six Flags for us with the MyFM crew. Maybe a couple too many rides on Superman and the Quantum Accelerator. The brand new coaster over at Six Flags.
I've heard good things.
It was a really good coaster. I enjoyed it. I'm a bit of a coaster enthusiast, I would say myself, as Jackson Fournier steps into the left-handed batter's box. 2 runners on. Here's the first pitch from Guidotti to Fournier. That's in the dirt. Good block by Lucarelli. Throw back to second. That goes off the glove of O'Connell into the outfield, and both runners are going to advance. And, man, a defensive gaffe. Lucarelli tried to throw back to second as Majorano had a healthy lead. He was nearly a third of the way to third base. Tried to throw back to O'Connell, and it was a good throw. He just missed the catch, just took his eyes off it.
And that's what we like to call a delayed steal. This is trying to force an action from the catcher and see if you can maybe get him off their toes. And just like that, Majorano got him to bite. Just an off throw by Lucarelli behind the dish. Now you've got 2 runners in scoring position.
And this one is pelted into right by Fournier over the head of Herlihy. Majorano's going to come in to score. Pedroli in tow. Rounding second, heading to third is Fournier. Fournier's going to round them all. Trouble in the infield. Throw to the plate. Not in time. Fournier touches them all, and it's 3-0 Milford.
Well, Herlihy was playing way too shallow on that baseball, and what should have been a routine line out in right field went over his head and went all the way back to the right center gap. That is the deepest part here at Fitton Field. Trouble in right, and it allows Fournier to utilize those wheels and make his way completely around the diamond. Well done by the power hitter, and an automatic 3-0 advantage for Milford.
Bouchard now in. He takes ball 1, and Lucarelli's going to talk to Guidotti, but more on just that tough stretch of events for Shrewsbury. First, it was the bad throw by Lucarelli behind the dish. It goes off of I believe the glove or maybe even the head of O'Connell into the outfield and allowed Majorano to advance to third and Lewis to advance to second. And Fournier with a hard hit ball, and the cleanup batter does his job. He cleans him up with an inside the park home run to make it 3-0 Milford. Just 1 out recorded here in the top of the first.
And now this sets up a really good situation for Bouchard. It's less pressure at the dish. You've got your 4-spot hitter up. So your mindset here is to be patient, and if you like that pitch, go after it. And there should be extra base opportunities.
Bouchard took that one. That one's down low. That is going to be ball 2. It's now 2-1 count. Josh Bouchard with the bases empty. Guidotti with the delivery. Outside part of the plate, counts evened up at 2. Scratch that. It's a 3-1 count, says the home plate umpire. Chopped to third. Kelly's throw to first. Just in time by a quarter step, and Bouchard is retired.
Yeah, nice job making the play over at third base by Kelly, but this is Kersonis' ball. Really good job stretching that glove and keeping his right foot maintained on the bag. What should have been a routine 5-3 effort turned into a little bit more of a hippity-hop than is expected, but the second out on the board here for Shrewsbury.
Yeah, tough play to make. Bouchard, the righty, kind of rolled it over down the third base line. It was slow, almost a swinging bunt. But Kelly was able to make the play, make the throw to Kersonis in time. A tad high, but good calm play by Kersonis over at first. Schoenberg fouls off the first pitch for strike 1 now, the 6-hole batter. Schoenberg takes the heater down low for ball 1.
And this is a spot where Schoenberg has so far shined throughout this year. He batted .257 in college this season and just over 34 plate appearances. And he's used to just getting on base and letting his speed do the work.
This is a hard-hit grounder, fielded by O'Connell. Throw to first, just in time again by a half step. So Shrewsbury able to record the final 2 outs of the inning after giving up a 3-run inside the park homer from Jackson Fournier. It's Milford 3, Shrewsbury nothing, but Shrewsbury with the opportunity to answer. Top of the first, coming up after this on My FM 101.3.
Hi, I'm Chris Foley, president of Unibank. Beyond banking transactions, Unibank's mission is to serve the Central Mass community through our philanthropic efforts. The more checking and savings accounts that you entrust to us, the more we're able to give back to nonprofit organizations. We have 14 convenient locations across the Central Mass region, and switching to us is an investment in your local community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 583135, unibank.com.
Looking for a new ride? Well, get ready, because Milford Auto Mall is on the move. Your trusted family-owned dealership is relocating to Route 140 in Hopedale, right next to Milford Tire and Service. At Milford Auto Mall, you'll find a great selection of quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs, backed by a friendly, professional team that makes the car buying process fun again. Whether you're upgrading your current vehicle or shopping for your first car, Milford Auto Mall is ready to help you drive away with confidence. Stay tuned for more updates and get ready to visit Milford Auto Mall at their brand new location on Route 140 in Hopedale.
Welcome back on My FM 101.3. Andrew McCarthy, Brett Schaves, along with you for the ride here at Fitton Field. Milford off to a hot start. It's 3-0, but it's time for the bottom of the first and time for Shrewsbury to try and respond. And what do they got to do in trying to block that top half of the inning out of their minds and look forward to hitting?
Well, they've got to replicate what Milford was able to do in the top half of the first, and that's make contact early. They succeeded on getting runners in base, and then ultimately it was Fournier's inside the park home run that gave him a 3-0 stamp to start this ball game out. So if you're Shrewsbury, you want to get base runners on early. And honestly, it doesn't matter how they come. Walk, hit by pitch, it does not matter. That's going to establish some pressure on Tyler Ballard and ultimately give themselves opportunities for us.
This presentation of the My FM Local Sports Network is brought to you in part by Milford Hardwood. Let them floor you. Tyler Ballard now on the mound for Milford. Let's see if he follows the advice that head coach Steve DeVito was preaching in coach's corner earlier. He wants strike 1. He was pitching real well in college, and he wants to get that first pitch strike, really put the batter on their heels, get them a little bit uncomfortable early in at-bats. First pitch to the center fielder, Connor Mudd, is fouled behind him for strike 1.
Yeah, Ballard hails from Wheaton College, and for those unfamiliar, in Norton, Massachusetts with the Lions, predominantly a pitching college. A lot of pitching prospects have come out of there. We've seen the likes of Stephen Quigley and such.
Mudd bounces it over to the second baseman, McGee. He flips it over to Burchard for out number 1.
But the biggest thing they instructed Wheaton is just composure, right? The strike 1 mentality that manager DeVito talked about earlier in this game. And for Ballard, it's just getting into that rhythm early and ultimately staying on top of batters. Even if that means trusting your defense and letting them do the work and allow contact. It doesn't matter how it happens. You just got to find that rhythm.
Cam Kelly, the third baseman, another lefty. going up against Tyler Ballard. That's foul tipped, but caught by the catcher Iarusi for strike one. Iarusi completing the battery with Tyler Ballard. Burchard over at first, McGee at second, Lewis at third. Schoenberg is the shortstop. And the outfield is Majorano in left, Fournier in center, and Bouchard in right. There's Bouchard and Burchard. Two very different players.
Extremely
no relation.
Different.
Don't know why I said no relation. They have two completely different last names.
This middle infield has been exceptional for Milford in the last 3 games. Joey McGee has put on a laser show, back-to-back double play balls, and Sam Schoenberg is like super glue over at shortstop. He's been a generator for this Milford defense.
The 1-2 to Kelly. Kelly foul tips it behind him. That's the third foul ball in this plate appearance. He's hanging in there. Still with 2 strikes. He's going to be a tough out for Tyler Ballard on the mound. The 1-2 yet again. And that one is fouled and gets away from Iarusi. It did not look like he made contact initially, but home plate umpire has a much better view than I do.
Kelly's lunging at the last few pitches. If I'm Ballard here, I'm looking off speed down and inside.
Let's see what he goes here with the 1-2. Got him inside, off speed, low and in. But he got him looking. First K of the day for Tyler Ballard.
Picturesque from Ballard. It's a slider inside. You're trying to get Kelly to lunge at it, but instead he just watches it fly over the dish. And a beautiful strike 2 effort brought to you by Unibank.
It's Tommy Crusonis, the first baseman, batting third in the lineup for Shrewsbury. He fouls that one off for strike 1. And like you said, Brett, tonight's strikeouts are sponsored by Unibank, convenient banking on Prospect Street in Milford. Here's the 0-1 for Crusonis, outside part of the plate for strike 2. He watched that one go, and right now Tyler Ballard seems to be locating really well at the dish. Here's the 0-2. Got him looking, back-to-back strikeouts. And the side is retired. A 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Ballard. The latter 2 strikeouts are of the backwards K variety. That strikeout brought to you by Unibank. Milford back up to bat on MyFM 101.3 after this.
Does Milford Federal have solutions for my business needs?
If you're talking to banks about your commercial lending needs, then let Milford Federal be part of the conversation. Whether you're purchasing property, expanding your business, or refinancing debt, setting up the right financial structure is key to long-term success. Their commercial lending team will work with you to understand your current objectives, define your future goals, and recommend a solution that's tailored to your business. Call Milford Federal Bank at 508-381-5208. Our community, your bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 465956.
For 60 years, Crystal Pool and Spa has been helping families dive into summer the right way. From pool openings and water care to pumps, filters, liners, and robotic cleaners, we have everything you need to get your pool ready for a season of fun. Stop by Crystal Pool and Spa in Bellingham, your hometown pool experts for 6 decades and counting. Crystal Pool and Spa, 60 years of making summers better.
Welcome back to Fit and Field, MyFM 101.3. Andrew McCarthy alongside Brett Schaubs. This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports Network is brought to you in part by the UPS Store in Milford, servicing all your package needs. It's Burchard, McGee, and Iarusi. It's the bottom of the order due up for Milford in this one. But let's talk about the one who's going to be leading off this top of the second inning. Sean Burchard drove in 3 runs last game despite having only 1 official at-bat. He's been really viewing the ball well. He's been drawing some walks. He's been getting on base. But the one time he had a proper hit, he was able to drive in all 3 base runners.
Yeah, and head coach Steve DeVito's done a really good job of balancing this lineup. Burchard's a little bit more of your prototype power hitter, and you mix between him and Fournier, you've got a really good spot to get some extra bases at the bottom of this order. So Burchard, like you mentioned, doing a really good job with hand-eye contact, especially in this last game against Vernon Hill. And he'll look to maybe replicate some of that success against Guidotti in the Shrewsbury lineup tonight.
Indeed, Guidotti still in for the top of the second inning. Pitched pretty well besides that one home run that was given up to Jackson Fournier, but I don't think you can put all of that on Guidotti. Burchard takes the first pitch down low in the dirt for ball one. Good eye to start. No defensive substitutions or pitching changes for Shrewsbury going into the second inning.
Yeah, the tough part for Guidotti, you allow a hit by pitch and a walk. That's how Majorano and eventually Braden Lewis got on base. But it's ultimately Herlihy's miscue in right field that allows all three runs to score. I mean, if you don't have those opportunities in a hit by pitch and walk, maybe you're just looking at a solo run. But ultimately, those small, minor details can make a huge difference, and that's just the game of baseball.
Burchard took the previous pitch for strike one, then fouled off the most recent one for strike two. Counts now 1-2 for the first baseman. Guidotti seems to be picking up the pace a little bit on the mound, really slow working in that first inning, a lot of time in between pitches. This ain't the major leagues. There's no pitch clock. They can take up a little bit more time if they want to. There's no hard set time they need to be set and ready by, but Guidotti seems to be picking up the tempo a little bit. Here's the 2-2. Inside, just barely, ball three, counts full.
Well, Legion Baseball is this game at its purest form. There's no pitch clock, there's shifts, there's everything. So, I mean, you can go at any composure you want. It's helped to his favor so far.
Outside ball four. This is old school, Brett, in layman's terms. The shift is still legal. There's no pitch clock. There's no video review. It's just the word of the umpires is the final say. It's old school, good old-fashioned America's pastime. And America's 250th birthday season. 4th of July coming up in a little bit. You doing anything to celebrate as Joey McGee steps into the left-handed batter's box?
Well, my fiance's father and I purchased almost $2,000 worth of fireworks, so we're probably going to light them off this 4th of July. We have a nice field. We gather some family, and we just have a good time, you know. Luckily, we had some coupons from Phantom Fireworks, and everything was all in its legality, so we're going to have some good old-fashioned American fun, but that's about it. How about you?
0-1 to McGee. Called strike two. I have no clue what I am doing for the 4th of July, Brett, and I think it is shame on me for not making plans sooner, but it's probably going to be my plans that have been the same for roughly the last week, and it is watch a lot of World Cup soccer.
There you go.
It only happens once every 4 years, and you don't remember the next time it's going to be coming to North America, much less the United States, much less our backyard over in Foxborough, Massachusetts. So I'm going to try to take in as much of the soccer fever as I can, as the count is now 1-2 for Joey McGee.
And the Tartan Army has completely taken over the state of Massachusetts.
Swinging bunt, running in is Kelly. Two-step throw over to first is in time, and McGee is retired, but Burchard advances to second on the play.
Yeah, not the result you want if you're Joey McGee, but ultimately it moves the runner to second, so you have to be happy with the product. Now you get a runner in scoring position for a guy like Brady Iarusi, who, if he strikes contact, it's an opportunity to score.
Brady Iarusi, the catcher, the 9-hole batter. With a runner in scoring position, the righty gets set to bat up against Joey Guidotti. This one is driven high into center field. Mudd is parked right under it. Burchard stays put at second. Ball was not hit deep enough to try and test the arm of Mudd. He threw right to the cutoff O'Connell. If he took off running, he probably would have been out before he even got 3/4 of the way there. Good eye by Burchard to stay put.
Yeah, naturally Fitton Field is a deeper ballpark. This ball will die out towards the middle sections of the grass, and you don't see much activity unless you give it a hefty poke. So even though Iarusi struck good contact on it, it unfortunately just wandered out in no man's land.
Easiest place to have it leave the yard is definitely in left field. A little bit of a shorter fence. If you're able to really pull one for those righties out there, they could definitely lift one over a couple of the outfield signs. This one is poked into right field by Ben Majorano. Rounding third and heading home is Burchard. Throw is well late, and it's 4-0 Milford. An RBI single for Ben Majorano.
This is a perfectly placed baseball, especially with a runner in scoring position. You're trying to predict who's holding the runner on at second base. And as they were shading it over to the bag, there is a massive gap in between second and first base, and Majorano just a tad late, pokes it into right field, and it's easy pick'ems at that point for Sean Burchard.
It was the first pitch swinging for Majorano. Threw it right into the gap between McDonough and Kersonis, comfortably coasting to first base. Pedroli swings at the first pitch he sees and fouls it off for strike one. I think Pedroli continues to be Milford's most consistent offensive threat. Had an extra base hit and a couple of RBI in the last game. He struck out swinging in his last plate appearance back in the first inning. Takes that one outside for ball one, counts even.
Yeah, the pressure's on here now for Guidotti. He settled in early, but these Milford hitters are just staying red hot right now. When you tally 22 runs, you've got the confidence on your back. So right now, they're just staying patient and waiting for their perfect pitches.
22 runs, a big bounce back. Runner goes. Majorano looking to go again. He already has one stolen bag today. He was looking for number 2, but Pedroli fouls it in the same location as the first pitch he saw, and the counts 1 and 2.
Majorano's been really productive when the hit and run's put on this year, and right now, Pedroli, who had it put on previously back in the first inning, has an opportunity in between that first and second gap again to potentially move Majorano back in a scoring position.
See if Majorano goes again. He's taking extra jumps from first. Throw back in time, and they did not get him. Top umpire, and again, with a runner on base, he's not usually right by first base. He's now in between first and second to make sure the play at second is called correctly, but man, it sure looked like Guidotti was able to pick off Majorano, but umpire says not so fast, my friends. He's still good. 1-2. Called strike 3, and Pedroli is sat down looking.
A little bit of a makeup call there. I mean,
Took the
those
words
were
right out of my
two
mouth.
very interesting calls, but nonetheless, I mean, no matter how you get there, the result's the same, and now you've got a 4-0 lead for Milford.
Pedroli strikes out for the second time in as many at-bats, and we will return for Shrewsbury to try and cut into this deficit. Milford up 4-0 early at Fitton Field. My FM 101.3. Back after this.
Hello, my name is Nicole Consigli Commischlian, and I am co-owner of Consigli Ruggiero Funeral Home alongside my father, David Consigli. For over the past 75 years, we have been serving the greater Milford community as a family-owned and operated funeral home. We specialize in pre-planning and ensure that your needs are met one family at a time. We are here to ensure your last memory remains a special one. Please contact us at 508-473-0513 to let us assist you during this difficult time.
Are you thinking about buying a new car or maybe looking to refinance an existing car loan? At Homefield Credit Union, we offer competitive rates on new car purchases as well as car loan refinancing. And with our Auto Advisor program, Homefield Credit Union can help you get a fair and competitive price on a new or used vehicle while financing directly with the credit union. Homefield Credit Union, banking with a Homefield advantage. Stop by or call today, 508-839-5493, 138 South Main Street in Milford and at 86 Worcester Street in North Grafton.
Whoa! Oh.
Oops, sorry.
That's fine, honey.
Mom, I'm home from practice, and I brought the whole team.
Oh, the floor. Okay, that's great. No, that's great.
Hey, honey. Can you believe all the rain?
Oh, we need new floors.
Milford Hardwood, South Main Street, Milford. Your hardwood flooring professionals with a large selection of hardwood flooring to meet your budget. Pick up a sample today.
Back at Fitton Field, My FM 101.3. This presentation of the My FM Local Sports Network is brought to you in part by Charles River Bank, with locations in Medway, Mendon, and Bellingham. And Jackson Lucarelli, probably the most dangerous hitter for this Shrewsbury team, had a triple and 4 RBI in the game against Northborough most recently. He's been the most productive hitter for the Shrewsbury team, not just this season, but over the last couple of seasons. He's a bit of a Shrewsbury Legion regular. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss for Lucarelli. He was really reaching at an off-speed pitch, and Tyler Ballard has been strong to start this appearance.
If I'm Ballard, I'm going 3 straight sliders. He has whiffed on 2. Got to go back.
The 0-2. And this time, Lucarelli turns it over right to the shortstop, Schoenberg. Throw to first is right in time, and that is a textbook plate appearance for Tyler Ballard defensively.
9 pitches in the first inning for Ballard. He gets rid of Lucarelli in 3 here. I really like the approach that time. Not necessarily going back to that slider, but when you're rolling over early like Lucarelli was, you then go back to fastball to force it to the left side of your field. That's where your strongest guys are. And Schoenberger routine play.
Incredible baseball IQ, and he starts Drew O'Connell off with a heater down the middle for strike 1. Drew O'Connell, the shortstop, batting 5th in the order for post 397. Here's the 0-1. This one is drilled right to McGee. Barely had to move, and an easy toss to first, and 2 are away.
Well, for those counting at home, that's now 5 pitches, 14 total. I mean, there are some cases where you see pitchers throw 14 pitches in one at-bat. He's threatening to potentially do that in 2 full innings of play. So if you're manager Steve DeVito, you're really liking what you're seeing out of your starter right now.
Let's see if Owen Michalowski is able to extend a plate appearance a little bit, but he swings and misses at the first pitch, well late on the heater. Strike 1 up against the left fielder. Tyler Ballard with pace on the mound. That fastball a little bit high for ball 1.
Patience is a virtue, and for Shrewsbury, they need to find that right. They have been swinging at every single first pitch they've seen. They've been jumpy. If you're them, you need to sit back and let Ballard throw to you. That's how you establish confidence at the plate. Right now, they're letting Ballard walk all over them and earn his early outs.
1-1 was just a bit outside with a fastball for ball 2. Now 2-1. Base is empty. 2 out. The 2-1. In the dirt for ball 3, and Michalowski has been well disciplined at the plate this time around. Braden Lazewski, designated hitter in the on-deck circle. 3-1. Checked his swing, but he got a piece of it and fouls it towards his own dugout, and the count is full.
It's a lucky pitch for Ballard. That should have been ball 4, but Michalowski just got it on the knob of the bat. So now a put-out pitch here with 2 outs.
Looking to go through 2 innings in less than 20 pitches. Here's the full count pitch. This one in the gap in left center. Fournier able to track it down for out number 3. And the fielding of Milford has been coming to light over these first couple of innings as well, especially in the second. And 2 shutout innings for Tyler Ballard. Milford up by 4, returning to bat in the top of the 3rd at Fitton Field. Andrew McCarthy, Brett Shavs on MyFM 101.3. Back after this.
Milford Regional Rehabilitation and Sports Medicine offers physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and sports and services at convenient appointment hours in Milford, Franklin, and Northbridge. To learn more, visit milfordregional.org/rehab. UMass Memorial Health Milford Regional is committed to providing exceptional healthcare services to our community with dignity, compassion, and respect.
Hey, it's Anthony from the Embroidery Bar in Milford, and this summer it's all about looking your best. From custom t-shirts, hats, and shorts to tumblers, keychains, flasks, bottle openers, and more, we've got everything you need to stand out at the beach, the cookout, or wherever summer takes you. Need something unique? No problem. If you can think it, we can create it. Whether it's for your business, your team, or just for fun, we'll help bring your ideas to life with custom designs that fit your style. Stop by the Embroidery Bar, 189 West Street in Milford, and get ready to make this your best looking summer yet.
Well, last game against Vernon Hill, Brett, as we return to Fitton Field, and this presentation of the MyFM Local Sports Network is brought to you in part by Medway Oil and Propane, giving you the reliable, courteous service they've been known for since 1954. And Brett, last game against Vernon Hill, they scored 22 runs on just 13 hits. And right now it's, I don't want to say a similar script, but 4 runs and only 2 hits. It was a single by Majorano in the second, and of course that inside the park homer by Fournier back in the top of the first.
Well, sometimes in the game of baseball, it's not about how many hits you generate, it's the quality in the at-bats in which you have. And for Milford, they've really had a number of quality at-bats, and they've gotten a good jump on Guidotti in the early frames, and as you mentioned, the train just continues to go up.
Braden Lewis takes ball 1 in the dirt. It is still Joey Guidotti on the pitcher's mound for Shrewsbury Post 397 on an absolutely gorgeous night in the heart of it all. It was a beautiful day at Six Flags earlier this morning. Braden Lewis takes that for strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. It's been a picture-perfect day. It's a beautiful night for some American Legion baseball.
And honestly, it's been a picture-perfect week. After a heat wave this past weekend that saw temperatures almost in the triple digits, I mean, this is probably about as perfect as you can ask for baseball, as you mentioned.
Strike 2 for Braden Lewis. Checked his swing, but called strike 2, and the count's now 1-2. Guidotti looking to retire the third baseman. This is rolled over right to the shortstop O'Connell. Tough throw from distance, and it's late. Lewis able to beat it out.
Yeah, he rolled it over, as you mentioned, but this is just a really well-placed ball by Lewis. It forces O'Connell to work back into the box at shortstop and just not enough time to make the throw over the diamond. So you get a single on with some speed for Lewis and a really good spot again for Fournier.
He was right at the edge of the infield dirt, almost into outfield grass. That is a long throw for him. Good play to keep it in the infield, but that's a tough throw for anyone to make. And it's going to bring up Jackson Fournier, the man who hit the inside the park homer back in the first inning. He's got one runner on. Takes the first pitch off speed, tails back in for strike one. Good to be in the booth for American Legion season this summer, Brett. I missed the first handful of games. How did things go when I was away? I mean, obviously, Milford's been playing pretty good. They're 4-1 this season.
Yeah, Milford's been on a tear, and other than the exception game at Leominster so far, this is a roster that really thrives on offensive production. They've got a really balanced lineup thanks to manager Steve DeVito. And a lot of these guys are familiar with the scheme. Steve DeVito, of course, the manager for Milford High School. He was also recently named their new athletic director. Congratulations to Coach DeVito on his promotion. But a lot of these players are used to playing for him, so it's a lot of similar stuff, and as a result, they succeed.
Runner goes, and Lewis is safe at second. Count is now 0-2 for Jackson Fournier. I believe that may have been ball one on that previous pitch from Guidotti. Nope, it is still 0-2. My apologies. So now Lewis in scoring position. The center fielder Fournier looking to make it a potential 5 spot. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good block by Lucarelli. He's going to throw back to second, and that was an interesting call by Lucarelli. It was a drop third strike as the pitch was in the dirt. Fournier swung and missed, but obviously a drop third strike. You're able to take off to first. And Lucarelli tried to keep Lewis put at second, and he shook him there at first, but he decided to throw back to second. Lewis says, all right, I guess I'll stay here, while Fournier will easily take first base.
Yeah, that's just a really poor decision by Lucarelli. You have to take the outs when they're given to you. His pitcher did a really good job forcing that inside slider and getting the debatable best hitter in the lineup tonight, Fournier, around. But it's the delayed steal by Lewis that throws Lucarelli off. So now you have 2 runners on, and it's just an even further jam for Guidotti, who's trying to find some semblance of a rhythm. So if you're Lucarelli, you have to take the outs where you're given to them, regardless of what the situation is at second base.
Head coach Frank Vaccaro just brought his infield in after that play to kind of reset their minds a little bit. Hey, take the outs when they're given to you, when they're available. It's okay if the runner advances. That out is a lot more important. Josh Bouchard takes the first pitch, called strike one. He's now got 2 runners on. Fournier at first, Lewis at second.
Yeah, and this is what American Legion baseball is. It's about learning and understanding situational play, especially for a lot of these kids who are just finishing up high school or moving into their first year of college ball. It's how you learn, you make the mistakes, and ultimately for Lucarelli, it's establishing the efforts of getting the outs.
This is certainly the platform to make those mistakes. Bouchard fouls that off, and he's down 0-2. These 2 teams, 2 of the best in central Massachusetts for American Legion Baseball. Milford 4-1, Shrewsbury undefeated 4-0 entering today, but they're off to a cold start, down 4-0 to Milford. Here's the 0-2 to Bouchard. Lifted, right field, first base line, and drifts foul towards the Milford bullpen.
Bouchard's trailing inside right now. He's really got his hands tucked into the torso, and he's trying to force something to that left side of the field, but it's just coming off a tad late. You might want to get those hands out just a little bit more and extend that contact.
Guidotti slowing down the pace. Here's the 0-2 delivery. This one is roped into left field, outfield grass, and holding up at third is Braden Lewis, and the bases are loaded with nobody out for the shortstop, Sam Schoenberg. And Frank Vaccaro is going to come out to the mound now. This may be it for Joey Guidotti.
It looks like it is. They've got arms warming up right now, and this will do it. Really nice job there by Bouchard, like we talked about, extending the hands and forcing something to that left side of the field, and now you force a bases-loaded jam, and you get rid of Guidotti, who is one of the better pitchers in American Legion right now.
New pitcher on the mound for Shrewsbury. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll see who's on the mound for Shrewsbury post 397. But Sam Schoenberg up to bat, bases loaded, nobody out. My FM 101.3 back after this.
This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports Network is being brought to you in part by All Temp Systems. When it comes to keeping your home comfortable year-round, trust the team at All Temp Systems. Their experienced technicians provide quality heating, cooling, and home comfort solutions with a customer-first approach and upfront pricing. They serve all major brands and are fully licensed and insured, giving you peace of mind with every visit. For your family's home comfort needs, make the call to the team you can trust. All Temp Systems, Pond Street in Milford.
Hey, this is Jay with Full Service Junk Removal in Natick. From construction debris to furniture, yard waste, scrap metal, even hot tubs, we haul it all. Need a dumpster? We got you covered. Give us a call at 617-838-4977.
Full service junk removal in Natick, clearing the way for local teams and families to win. FullServiceJunkREM.com.
Andrew McCarthy alongside with Brett Shaw is in the heart of it all on My FM 101.3, the heart of the Commonwealth, I should say, Fitton Field in Worcester, Massachusetts. And it is Lazewski, Braden Lazewski. He was the designated hitter. He's now on the mound for Shrewsbury, coming on in relief of Joey Guidotti. And he's going to come into a tough situation for him. Bases loaded, nobody out, and the shortstop, Sam Schoenberg, up to bat for Milford, with Milford already up by 4 runs.
Yeah, they're going to lose the DH spot too, and especially early in this ball game, that's a really tough thing to lose early on. So Lazewski's going to have to play a little two-way action here, and you mentioned it, Andrew. This is a really interesting jam to be put in. Bases loaded. You're already down 4 runs, and Milford has an opportunity to really break this game open and establish some dominance.
Joey Guidotti is sent off in relief, and now Braden Lazewski up against Schoenberg. It is Bouchard at first, Fournier at second, Lewis at third. Here's the first pitch to Schoenberg. This is lifted into deep left center field. Mudd is going to track under it. Lewis tags up from third. He'll cross home plate relatively easily, and it's 5-0 Milford. Textbook sacrifice fly from Schoenberg.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're looking for. Really deep part of the ballpark there, and ultimately it scores the run. So now you've got it in a 5 spot, and an even better spot for Bouchard and some of this extra lineup for Milford.
Fournier stays put at second. Bouchard stays put at first, and now it is Sam Bouchard, who was walked back in the second inning, got runners on first and second. With 1 out, Milford up 5-0. It has been a dominant start for post 59. Off-speed pitch, tails back in, strike 1 against Bouchard.
Bouchard, one of the 5 runs scored so far today. He reached base via walk by Guidotti, but even though a run came across, if you're Lazewski, you just need to keep pumping strikes. Don't even worry about the runners on base.
Guidotti pitching just 2 full innings to start this game, and now the designated hitter Lazewski has to come on in relief earlier than anticipated for Shrewsbury. Counts now 0-2 for Bouchard. Here's the pitch, and it's chopped foul down the first base line. He stays alive.
So as it stands now, Guidotti's going to be accredited 5 runs, 2 earned. The other 3 runs were drawn into scoring position by way of error, so those 3 runs are unearned for Guidotti. However, 5 total runs have come across as to this point in time.
Chopper Lazewski has trouble fielding it. He eventually does and is able to throw to Kersonis to retire Bouchard, but he does his job. Both runners advance. Now Fournier at third, Bouchard at second.
Yeah, good recovery there by Lazewski. It's just a bit of a bobble off the top of his glove, and as he goes for the transfer into his hand, he loses grip, but nice job to stay composed, recover, and make the throw into first base.
Joey McGee takes the first pitch for strike one, an off-speed slider that tailed right back into the middle of the plate.
If you're McGee, you're looking opposite side of the field right now. There's another monster gap in between second and first that will allow your two base runners to advance.
That slider was left a little bit high for ball one. So Guidotti finishes 2 innings pitched, 4 hits given up, 5 runs, but only 2 of them earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3, even though that third one was a dropped third strike, which he was then safe at first. That one clips McGee right on the hip. And the righty is going to take first base, and the bases are loaded yet again for the 9-hole batter, Brady Iarusi, the catcher.
And another primetime spot for Iarusi here. We saw his last at-bat. He poked one out to the deeper part of the ballpark. You cannot do that again. You're looking for a base hit. You're looking for something in between the gaps. A routine fly ball is going to end your inning here.
He's got a big gap right up the middle between second base and the shortstop. He's also got a solid gap between second and first as well. Looks like O'Connell is kind of cheating a little bit towards the third base side, hoping Iarusi pulls one here. Here's the 1-0 outside for ball 2.
A nice job by Iarusi here, staying composed. You need to let Lazevsky throw to you and ultimately find that pitch that you're going to strike contact with the best.
Don't expect a swing here. Up 2-0 in the count. That one's in the dirt, and now it's 3-0, and he's definitely not going to swing on the next one.
This is the part in the ball game now where Milford has really established their insurance, and now they just have to stay patient. You need to force Shrewsbury to come to you and make this game competitive again.
A high-octane point in the matchup here. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Iarusi. He did not even budge, but he takes strike one. And now he'll have the green light to swing away, try to get a couple runs on the board, a couple extra runs, I should say, for Milford. 3-1 pitch. Outside, ball 4. Lazevsky walks in a run, and it's 6-0. And back around to the top of the order, Ben Majorano hit an RBI single in his most recent plate appearance, was hit by a pitch in the first. Has a stolen base already today. He's very jumpy on the base paths, and you want to get this third out as quickly as possible. You do not want to go through the top part of this order in this situation.
Yeah, this is a speedy part of the order as well, like you mentioned. Get them out as quick as possible, and more importantly, mitigate your mistakes.
Lucarelli had some problems with that pitch in the dirt. No harm, no foul. All the runners stay put. Bouchard is at third, McGee at second, Iarusi now at first. All this started with Braden Lewis with a single to lead off this third inning. He was the 3-hole batter. We're back up at leadoff with Majorano. He takes that one outside for ball 2. Lazevsky having trouble locating, coming on in relief. You got to think maybe he would have been used for or maybe expecting relief, and that one got him on the shoulder, way inside. Majorano is hit by a pitch, the second one hit by Lazevsky today. It's going to bring in another run, and it's 7-0 Milford.
So that ultimately finishes the scorecard for Joey Guidotti. 7 runs, 3 earned with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Now every base runner on belongs to Lazevsky.
Nick Pedroli, the only Milford batter who has not had a plate appearance until now here in this third inning. We're almost all the way around. Fastball, low part of the plate, strike 1, and a crucial first pitch strike for Lazevsky.
Yeah, this is the spot in the lineup for Pedroli where you really need to get your confidence back. 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts.
That's inside, but called strike 2. Looked a little bit too far in for Pedroli's liking, but he'll have to sit with it. Down 0-2 in the count. Lazevsky working with some pace here. Very jumpy on the base paths is Josh Bouchard, or excuse me, that is Joey McGee. Able to shake the tempo of Lazevsky. Here's the 0-2 pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Good eye by Pedroli.
You've got to stay patient here if you're Pedroli. Lazevsky has not had his best stuff here in the corners of the zone. Wait for it to come to you and find contact.
The 1-2. Off speed, outside, counts evened up.
O'Connell is not having much pressure on at second base, meaning that gap up the middle is massive. If you're Pedroli at the plate, that's got to be your target.
2-2 from Lazewski. Fastball inside, got him looking. Pedroli tried to turn away and prepare for a potential plunk, but instead he sat down for the third time today. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, a golden sombrero for the designated hitter. Now we want to see out of him, but as a team, Milford is up big time, 7-0 against Shrewsbury here at Fitton Field. Andrew McCarthy, Brett Shaw is back on My FM 101.3 after this.
Hey, this is Ray, the owner of Tailwind Tavern and Hopedale Pizza Market. We've got pizza, sandwich, chicken, seafood, and drinks perfect for the whole family after the game.
From post-practice dinners to game day nights, make the winning stop. Tailwind Tavern in Hopedale, where families win after the game.
Hey, this is John, owner of Done Right Asphalt Repair. We handle asphalt paving and repairs, seal coating, crack sealing for both residential and commercial properties. We do it the right way.
When your pavement needs a comeback, make the smart play. Asphalt done right.
DoneRightAsphaltRepair.com.
McIntyre Loam is proud to support the fine young athletes, coaches, and local schools featured on the MyFM Media Local Sports Network. For generations, McIntyre Loam has helped homeowners, landscapers, and communities build from the ground up, providing quality loam, mulch, gravel, stone, and reliable delivery you can count on. It's the same commitment to hard work, teamwork, and doing things the right way that we see every time these local teams take the field. McIntyre Loam, proudly supporting local sports and the communities we call home.
Andrew McCarthy, Brett Schaubs here at Fitton Field in Worcester, Massachusetts. This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports Network brought to you in part by Full Service Junk Removal out of Natick. Fast, reliable junk removal and cleanouts when you need it most. And right now, Milford is taking Shrewsbury out to the cleaners. 7-0, and it's just the bottom of the third inning. The offense for Milford has been explosive. And right now, Tyler Ballard on the mound for Milford has been lights out.
That's about as picturesque as you can ask for Milford. Your pitcher's got his all sorts of confidence wound up right now, and on the other side, your offense just continues to click and take advantage of some pretty crucial mistakes from Shrewsbury. We saw Guidotti retired for the day, 7 runs, but only 3 of them are earned, meaning 4 of those runs have come across by way of error. A really tough showing so far from the Shrewsbury defense.
Braden Lazewski, the designated hitter, seeing his first plate appearance. He takes that outside for strike one, just clips the outer part of the plate. In the latter stages of that top of the third inning, Milford was on their third go-around of the batting order. Shrewsbury still on their first. Lazewski takes that high and away for ball one. I did say designated hitter. I should say relief pitcher now. He's on the mound for Shrewsbury. In the top half, at least in the third inning, we'll see if he continues his work on the mound. He slices this one right center field. Bouchard trying to chase after it off the palm of his glove and out. He had to cover quite a distance to try and attempt a play on that ball. Couldn't quite complete it. Lazewski coasts into second base.
Yeah, it's a tough error there in right field, and ultimately, it allows them to get that runner in a scoring position with Lazewski. Like you mentioned, that's a lot of ground to make up, but he ultimately made the bid to make the catch. It just popped right out of the mitt. You couldn't tell from this vantage point if he just couldn't open it in time or if it just hit the top of the webbing. But like we mentioned, Shrewsbury's got some life here and ultimately a regrouping opportunity for Tyler Ballard.
He got a good jump. He was able to track it down real well. He got himself in the right position, just couldn't quite squeeze onto that ball to complete the play, and instead it goes in as an E9, and Lazewski is going to be at second base. Could be the break Shrewsbury need to try and slice into this deficit as much as possible. Brian Herlihy, the right fielder, takes the first pitch for strike one, a heater.
Yeah, that's a confidence pitch right there. Go out and get it for Tyler Ballard. His fastball has been the best stuff and ultimately forcing Herlihy to sit back and stay patient.
0-1 pitch to Herlihy. He looks off Lazewski just a bit high above the crest for ball one. Counts even. Lazewski over at second. A little bit of pressure being applied by both Schoenberg and McGee. More so McGee, the second baseman. He now backs off. The 1-1, roughly in the same spot, just a bit high for ball two.
Yeah, if you're Schoenberg and McGee, you have to be careful. It's all right to put pressure on, trying to keep Lazewski on his toes, but you need to make sure you're back in position in time, or else you're leaving a monster gap.
2-1 from Ballard. Checks his swing. Did not go around, but called strike 2. Clips the outside part of the plate. Ballard already with 2 strikeouts today. Foul tipped by Herlihy and is able to get behind Iarusi to stay alive in the at-bat.
A little bit of a lunge there by Herlihy. If you're Ballard, you're maybe looking inside, back to that off-speed pitch. You're looking to force something underneath the barrel there of Herlihy.
It's where he's been getting most of his punch-outs. They've been underneath. He's gotten them against lefties more so. He's going to try to punch out the righty. That's low and away. If it was a lefty, it would have been low and inside, right where he wants it. And it's tough for a righty pitcher to try and have that tail inside on another righty batter, unless he has a really good sinker in his arsenal. But right now, it seems he's been relying on the slider and the fastball. Payoff pitch to Herlihy. Fastball swing and a miss. Some velocity from Tyler Ballard, and he gets his 3rd K of the day, the first one of the swinging variety.
Yeah, it just blew it right by him. And like you mentioned, fastball, go and get it up the ladder. And well done, K, brought to you by Unibank for Tyler Ballard. And he gets his first out of a much-needed frame.
Finn McDonough, the second baseman, the final Shrewsbury batter to finally have a plate appearance in this game. Swings and misses. Man, the heater is working to perfection for Tyler Ballard. It is just way too quick for these batters to keep up with. Very late on these swings. The 0-1. Right back to it. McDonough gets a piece of it, but it's still strike 2. See if he goes back to the fastball for a 3rd straight time. You think so?
It's possible. I mean, you're working with another right-handed batter, and it's already a shallow batting stance, so if you're a Ballard, you're thinking maybe go back to this fastball and force him to load up early.
See what he goes with. The 0-2, just a bit high on the fastball.
And it's a shallow lead for Lazevsky as well, so Shrewsbury still playing conservative here, despite trailing 7 runs.
1-2 from Ballard. Off speed. Again, too high. Got away from him. Counts evened up at 2.
Now you're getting a little cheeky here if you're Ballard. You've got to stick to what's been working. Approach with a simple mindset. Just got to attack the plate and let your defense do the rest of the work. It's carried him to this point in time. You've got to go back to that momentum.
Swing and a miss for McDonough. The fastball does it yet again. 4th strikeout of the day for Ballard.
And right on cue, he goes right back to that fastball and just says, go and get it. And he blew it right by him. 4th strikeout of the day, brought to you by Unibank for Tyler Ballard.
Convenient banking on Prospect Street in Milford. Thank you to Unibank for sponsoring all of tonight's strikeouts, not just tonight, but all season long for Milford American Legion Baseball. Back to the top of the order, Connor Mudd. Fastball, outer part of the plate, strike 1.
Really good frame by Iarusi there. That was trailing on a 2-seamer just on the outside corner, but it's Iarusi's frame job that ultimately gives him the first call.
These two just seem to be on the exact same page today. They haven't been talking a lot, not a lot of mound visits. They just seem comfortable with each other. Mudd lifts this one into right center field. Fournier comfortably makes the play for out number 3. Only one base runner for Shrewsbury so far. It was Lazevsky on an E9, so no hits for Shrewsbury yet through 3 innings. Ballard has been pitching a gem. Milford looking to grow their lead up 7-0. Top of the 4th. Up next on My FM 101.3.
Don't be fooled by the name Pepperoncini's Pizzeria. It's not just pizza. Pepperoncini's Pizzeria and Grill at East Main Street in Milford is a family restaurant with a full menu for your full family. From their great tasting appetizers to game time wings on the bone tossed in a multitude of different flavors. Pepperoncini's offers catering for all corporate events as well as private parties. For the best pizza in the Milford area, it's Pepperoncini's. Bring the family to Pepperoncini's Pizzeria and Grill. You won't leave hungry. Gluten-free pizza on the menu.
This presentation of the My FM Local Sports Network is being brought to you in part by Oliva's Market Catering and Gourmet Gift Shop, providing quality products and exceptional service to the greater Milford community. Oliva's will make your party one your guests will never forget. Whatever your special occasion may be, a stop at Oliva's Market Catering and Gourmet Gift Shop is a must. And try Oliva's homemade sausage. Oliva's Market, Catering, and Gourmet Gift Shop, the freshest cold cuts in town.
This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports Network is brought to you in part by Done Right Asphalt Repair, serving Upton and the surrounding area. Asphalt done right. We're back at Fitton Field, and Braden Lazewski is back on the mound for Shrewsbury post 397. And it's going to be the same exact due-up order for Milford as it was back in the third. It is Lewis, it is Fournier, it is Bouchard, 3, 4, 5 in the order. Leading off here in the top of the fourth inning, and Milford is just in total control. Everything seems to be going their way.
Yeah, and the surprising part is they only have 4 hits to show for it. They've had 7 runs and only 4 hits, meaning the majority of this has been internal damage by Shrewsbury. So if you're Milford, just keep to your same momentum and ultimately let your opposition make the mistakes because it's given you the success thus far.
3 in the first, 1 in the second, and 3 more in the third. Here's the 1-0 to Lewis. That's low and away for ball 2.
They've scored 3 runs in 2 of the last 3 frames, Milford has. And we've very recently seen just 1 run that was earned.
Josh Bouchard was the last batter that Joey Guidotti faced before Guidotti was pulled in relief of Lazewski. When Lazewski came into the third inning, Schoenberg hit a sac fly to center field. Then McGee was hit by a pitch. Swing and a miss for Braden Lewis for strike 1. He swung on the 3-0 pitch. Iarusi was then walked with the bases loaded. Then Majorano was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. And those were the 3 runs that were scored. That is well inside for ball 4. And Braden Lewis is walked for the second time today. He's reached base safely in all 3 plate appearances.
Yeah, 2 walks and a single with 2 runs scored for Braden Lewis. I mean, the offensive production has been a little bit lower for him, but ultimately it doesn't matter how many hits you get on. It's the same exact result, and he's been a top contributor for Milford this far.
Fournier takes strike 1. Fournier struck out last plate appearance, but he was able to reach first base safely on a dropped third strike after Lucarelli tried to throw to second to keep Braden Lewis in check, and they ended up getting nobody out in the process. Low, good block by Lucarelli for ball 1. Fournier hitting the inside the park 3-run home run back in the first inning to really get this game going, kick-starting the heart of Milford. Pickoff attempt at first. The attempt is away from Kersonis. No tag applied.
Well, as the adage goes, home is where the heart is, but today Fournier has been where that heart is, and he scored 2 of the 7 runs today and ultimately been the spark.
That gets away from Lucarelli. Lewis advances to second.
Yeah, it'll be ruled as a pass ball there for Lazewski, or rather a wild pitch, I beg your pardon, but now you move Lewis into scoring position in another prime spot for Fournier.
Yeah, not quite home sweet home for Milford. They're on the road today, but they sure are playing like it's home field advantage. And the real question is, how many Motley Crue references are we going to fit into this inning? What are we up to, 3?
Might as well just say kickstart my heart. I mean, we've pretty much said every word except the actual titles.
Let's see if Jackson Fournier is going to dial Dr. Feelgood. 3-1 pitch in there for strike 2. Full count now for Jackson Fournier. Runner on second in Braden Lewis. Braden Lazewski on the mound. Braden versus Jackson. Full count pitch. Foul tipped by Fournier. He stays alive. Good eye by Fournier, able to just protect the plate.
Already in this inning, Milford is making Lazewski work. There was 5 pitches in the previous at-bat with Lewis, and now you're on pitch number 7 with Fournier. So continuing to increase production out of the Shrewsbury pitching lineup has been the MO for Milford today.
Sure, Steve DeVito has been loving the aggressiveness. Fournier ropes that one towards the dugout, nearly decapitates one of his coaches. No one is struck by that ball, thankfully.
On the hop. That was certainly a close call, and one of the rare locations a foul ball can wind up.
Boy, he really turned on that one. That thing had some exit velo on it. Full count pitch yet again for Fournier. Roped, third base line, but just tails foul. Luckily not towards one of his coaches, instead towards the outfield fence, just in foul territory. Fournier has been really dragging this at-bat out. He's been making Lezevsky work to try and record out number 1 of this 4th inning. Way up, sky high. Don't think it's even going to leave the infield. O'Connell can't make the play. Loses it at the last second. That one way up high, and it's a twilight sky, and he just could not come down with it. McDonough was staying put at second base. It was O'Connell's to catch, and he just could not come down with it, and Fournier is safe at first base. Lewis staying at second.
Yeah, oddly enough, it can sometimes get hard to see the baseball up in the sky at night here at Fitton Field, and O'Connell just gets himself tripped up in the eyes. And ultimately the error gives Milford 2 runners on as they continue to march through.
Way up high for ball 1 against Josh Bouchard. And you said it best, Brett. This twilight sky, the sun isn't quite fully set yet. It's more that darker shade of blue. It gets a little tough to see the baseball up there, and that one was hit way high by Fournier.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the way the lights are designed here at Fitton Field, you've almost got this dead spot right in the heart of the infield, and where that infield fly ended up, it ends up in that darkness in the clouds and ultimately gives O'Connell the trouble.
Bouchard ahead in the count 2-0 against Lezevsky. I don't see any action going on in the Shrewsbury bullpen. Slider well placed by Lezevsky for strike 1. Fitton Field, home of the Futures League Worcester Bravehearts. Hosting the FCBL All-Star Game here just last season. Home Run Derby was here at Fitton Field. All-Star Game was over at Polar Park, home of the Worcester Red Sox. Worcester has really turned itself into a hardcore baseball town in the summer. People love to go to the Woo Sox and the Bravehearts alike. Room enough for both teams here. The 2-2. Lifted, foul territory, and it's going to go into the seats. Still a 2-2 count for Josh Bouchard, but these batters, well, they haven't been finding many base hits or good quality pieces of hitting. They've been able to extend these at-bats and really make Lezevsky work.
And that's ultimately how Milford's gotten their results. They get the exhaustion out there and they generate their own opportunities.
2-2. High. This one's going to stay in the field of play. At least I think so. Michalowski in left, and he couldn't find it. He lost it in the lights. Rounding third is Lewis, and he will score. It was a soft one. Fly ball to left field. Michalowski just wasn't even close to it. He was a good 3 or 4 steps from where that ball landed. He did not know where that was. He absolutely lost it in the lights.
Well, I think they also just assumed that between O'Connell and Michalowski, one of them was going to get it if it even came close to coming in. But this one, from our vantage point, looks like it's trailing away. It ends up staying fair, and it allows Lewis with his speed to just bolt around third base and grab the 8th run of the game. And if you're Shrewsbury, you're just continuing to shoot yourself in the foot. It has been a tough go-around defensively for post 397.
Major props to Braden Lewis. He kind of got a head start on that ball. He knew that was not going to be caught. He was already halfway to third base by the time that ball landed. He just sprinted right around third, right to home plate. A play wasn't even attempted at the plate, and it's now 8-0 Milford in the top of the 4th. A single out has not even been recorded, and it's Sam Schoenberg, the shortstop, who's 0 for 1 today. He sacrifice flied to center last plate appearance. He's got 2 runners on. He's got Fournier at second and Bouchard now at first. 8 runs on 5 hits for Milford. Off speed on the lower outside corner for strike 1.
Lezevsky's off speed's been hanging a little bit in the zone, and that's where a lot of this contact has come from Milford. So if you're Schoenberg, you're sitting back and you're waiting for that curveball to find its way into the heart of the zone.
He's able to hang one inside. He did so here. This one was popped up sky high. Is this one going to be caught? Kelly does make the catch.
Yeah, regardless of what the result was, infield fly rule was in effect, so you end up getting your first down, a gimme there from Schoenberg, but now you move down to the bottom of the order here where Burchard's got some chance to extend production.
Burchard grounded out to the pitcher. Last plate appearance, he was walked in the second. Still 2 runners on. First down finally recorded. That one's high for ball 1. Lizevsky. This is a little blooper. That's going to drop in shallow center field. Everyone's going to move up one. Long throw cut off by Lizevsky. And the bases are loaded for Joey McGee.
Really nice job there by Burchard to go inside, move his hands in, and ultimately drive that contact to the center part of the diamond. And now you load the bases and a chance to potentially put yourself in run rule territory heading into the bottom half and maybe the latter frames.
Infield is going to be playing pretty shallow. They're right at the edge of the inner grass in the infield. And a little bit interesting here. The double play is available, but they're probably going to try to throw it home if they're able to field a grounder cleanly.
Yeah, this is coming home if it's on the ground in the infield. I mean, if you're Shrewsbury, you're trying to preserve every run possible.
0-1 for McGee. Down the third baseline, fair. 1 run will score. And rounding third, trying to score now, looks like is Josh Bouchard. He will score as well. 2 more come across. It's 10-0 Milford.
Excellent contact from Joey McGee. This ball is rocketed just out of the reach from Cam Kelly at third base. And with enough space down the line, 2 runs come across. It's a double-digit lead for Milford, and it looks like it's going to prompt another bullpen appearance.
Fournier was at third. He scored, and Bouchard dragged one out. He came from second. He came around to score. Burchard goes to second. McGee stays put at first. It's a 2-run single for Joey McGee. Brady Iarusi is going to be up to bat as Lizevsky's outing is now concluded. And we'll see who Shrewsbury brings on out of the bullpen when we return on MyFM 101.3.
This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports Network is brought to you by PJ's Restaurants. Enjoy authentic barbecue at PJ's Smoke and Grill in Midway. Award-winning wings, burgers, and steak tips at PJ's Bar and Grill in Bellingham. Or all-day breakfast and lunch at the newly reimagined Miss Menden Diner. PJ's Restaurants, proud supporters of local sports and proud sponsors of the MyFM Local Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Chris Foley, president of Unibank. Beyond banking transactions, Unibank's mission is to serve the Central Mass community through our philanthropic efforts. The more checking and savings accounts that you entrust to us, the more we're able to give back to nonprofit organizations. We have 14 convenient locations across the Central Mass region, and switching to us is an investment in your local community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 583135, unibank.com.
This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports Network is brought to you in part by Tailwind Tavern in Hopedale, where good food, great company, and genuine hospitality come together. And for Shrewsbury, it is number 20, Farazad Hussein, who comes on out of the bullpen in relief of Lizevsky. And what do you got on Lizevsky's outing so far? What are the stats you got for him, Brett?
Yeah, Lizevsky so far finishes the day 1 of the third innings pitched with 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which are earned, 2 walks, and a strikeout. If both of these runs currently for Milford come across, it'll end up being 5 runs with 4 earned for Lizevsky. So, again, you have to think about what Farazad Hussein is going to accomplish here. I mean, it's establishing a rhythm at this point for Shrewsbury, looking for something productive, but not a fantastic day for Lizevsky and Guidotti to open up the pitching day for Shrewsbury.
See, you do that quick baseball math when you determine like who's responsible for the runs, what earned, what's not earned. When you start getting with pitching changes and who's responsible for base runners, that's where I start to lose the math. This is why I'm a broadcaster for a living and not a mathematician. I try to keep a book, but it sure is not perfect. Farzad Hussein delivers the first pitch to Brady Iarusi for strike one.
My alter ego is in athletic communications and sports information, so keeping the book is quite literally my job and what I get paid for, so sometimes it's just second nature at this point.
Doing the Lord's work. Counts now 1-1 for Brady Iarusi. Sun starting to set beyond the Worcester horizon, multicolored sky over the heart of the Commonwealth, Mr. Worcester, Massachusetts, as you're listening in the heart of it all on My FM 101.3. Iarusi fouls that one behind him for strike two. Counts now 1-2. Again, he's got runners on first and second. McGee at first, Burchard at second, both of whom are Lizevsky's responsibility. So Farzad Hussein trying to record the final 2 outs here in the top of the fourth inning. It is 10-0. Milford has scored 3 runs in the first, third, and fourth innings so far, with another run added on back in the second inning. The 2-2 from Hussein. Slider outside, and Iarusi has drawn the count full.
Yeah, Hussein's just got to find something in the zone here and trust his defense to accomplish the job. You can't afford to get cheeky now. It's got to be in the zone, and you've got to trust your defense to have your back.
Iarusi 0 for 1 so far today. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, first K of the day for Farzad Hussein. And a much-needed strikeout for Shrewsbury, but back up comes the top of the order, Ben Majorano, who has been hit by a pitch twice today. He's 1 for 1 with a single in the second, an RBI single. Last time he was hit by a pitch, but it was with the bases loaded, so he has 2 RBIs today. First pitch, looking for the gap in second. Good play by McDonough. Throw to first is in time. That's a long reach by McDonough to field that grounder, and that is just what Doctor ordered for Shrewsbury. They're back up to hit, top of the fourth. Coming up after this on My FM 101.3, but Milford in the driver's seat. They're up by a 10 spot.
Looking for a new ride? Well, get ready, because Milford Auto Mall is on the move. Your trusted family-owned dealership is relocating to Route 140 in Hopedale, right next to Milford Tire and Service. At Milford Auto Mall, you'll find a great selection of quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs, backed by a friendly, professional team that makes the car buying process fun again. Whether you're upgrading your current vehicle or shopping for your first car, Milford Auto Mall is ready to help you drive away with confidence. Stay tuned for more updates and get ready to visit Milford Auto Mall at their brand new location on Route 140 in Hopedale. Does Milford Federal have solutions for my business needs?
If you're talking to banks about your commercial lending needs, then let Milford Federal be part of the conversation. Whether you're purchasing property, expanding your business, or refinancing debt, setting up the right financial structure is key to long-term success. Their commercial lending team will work with you to understand your current objectives, define your future goals, and recommend a solution that's tailored to your business. Call Milford Federal Bank at 508-381-5208. Our community, your bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 465956.
Andrew McCarthy, Brett Shavs with you with My FM 101.3, broadcasting live from Fitton Field in Worcester, Massachusetts, and Milford American Legion is up big if you're just joining us. It is 10-0 over Shrewsbury Post 397. 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 more in the third, and 3 more in the fourth. 10 runs on 7 hits. Meanwhile, Tyler Ballard for Milford back on the mound. He has been pitching a gem, just 1 hit for Shrewsbury so far in this ball game, and it came from Braden Lizevsky on a little poke over to right field. But Tyler Ballard has been lights out for Milford, and he's going to continue his work here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, Shrewsbury's just starting their second time around the order. Meanwhile, Milford is kicking up their fourth. They have been around double the amount of times that Shrewsbury has, and it's just thanks to the offensive production and getting ahead of Shrewsbury pitchers early. So now if you're Ballard, you really have a good chance to settle in and sort of find your confidence here in the middle innings. 2
entire rotations ahead of Shrewsbury. It is Kelly, Kersonis, Lucarelli. That's 2, 3, 4 in the batting order. Just the second plate appearance for each batter today. Kelly struck out looking back in the first. He's going to lead off the bottom of the fourth. Ballard This was good contact by Kelly, but right to Majorano, who barely has to move to make the catch for out number 1.
One pitch, one out. Really good start for Ballard. And as you mentioned, it was good contact for Kelly. Just you're playing in a deeper ballpark where those types of plays are just going to be caught in no man's land. So one out here for Milford's defense.
It is a pretty deep center field. I believe it's roughly 400 feet to dead center to leave the yard. Tommy Kersonis struck out looking. He fouls that first pitch for strike 1.
36 pitches to this point in time for Ballard. Remarkable.
That is absurd efficiency, and Kersonis whiffs on the second pitch for strike 2. He's down 0-2.
And if he can get out of this inning quick, the even better part is that you're setting yourself up for maybe only 2 days rest, and he's available at the end of this week.
This is one of the more efficient pitching performances. He's taken a page right out of Jacob Mizorowski's playbook. The young ace of the Milwaukee Brewers. That gets away from Ballard over the head of Iarusi for ball 2, I should say, excuse me. You able to see the stat line from Mizorowski's game last week, Brett?
I was not.
Oof. 95 pitches, 1 hit, 15 strikeouts, complete game. Shutout. Kersonis lifts it into center field. I'm almost losing that one in the clouds. Fournier, however, does not. He makes the catch.
Yeah, Mizorowski is certainly one of the more standout arms in today's Major League Baseball, and we're starting to see a generation change where the handing of the torch is becoming a little bit more prominent in the MLB, and Mizorowski's just one of the many young aces to assert his dominance, not even just in Major League Baseball, but especially in the NL.
Jackson Lucarelli fans on the first pitch for strike 1. And you mentioned the NL and Paul Skeens over in Pittsburgh. We'd be remiss not to mention his name. He was able to tour a couple of ballparks last week on a little bit of a road trip. Was unable to see Paul Skeens, but was able to catch in a game at PNC Park, home of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and what a gorgeous ballpark that is.
Camden Yards is on my bucket list this summer as well.
I hit that as well.
I'm jealous.
That was my favorite. We hit 7 ballparks. Camden Yards, by far number 1. That's high and inside on Lucarelli for ball 2. Counts 2 and 1.
I've only been to a few ballparks down the East Coast. The Nationals Park, surprisingly, is among the top of my list. Very underrated ballpark, especially in the D.C. district.
I'm a big Nationals fan, but it's been a long time since I've been to Nats Park. Lucarelli swings and misses for strike 2. Counts even.
Big thing in Nats Park, not a single straw is allowed. It's all sippy cups there.
Really?
Fun fact.
Did not know that.
Not a single straw is allowed.
That is a very interesting factoid. Outside for Lucarelli counts full.
And that's not even just a Nats Park thing. That's a D.C. thing. Every coffee shop, restaurant, you are not allowed to serve straws.
All about the environment over in our nation's capital.
Big thing.
Payoff pitch. Got him looking. Lucarelli is sat down via the strikeout. It's another 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Ballard. He posts his 5th punch-out of the day. And Milford continuing their dominance here on Fitton Field. They're back up to bat after this, as Brett and I will talk about some more Major League ballparks during the break. Back on MyFM 101.3 after this.
For 60 years, Crystal Pool and Spa has been helping families dive into summer the right way. From pool openings and water care to pumps, filters, liners, and robotic cleaners, we have everything you need to get your pool ready for a season of fun. Stop by Crystal Pool and Spa in Bellingham, your hometown pool experts for 6 decades and counting. Crystal Pool and Spa, 60 years of making summers better.
Hello, my name is Nicole Consigli-Comishlian, and I am co-owner of Consigli-Ruggiero Funeral Home alongside my father, David Consigli. For over the past 75 years, we have been serving the greater Milford community as a family-owned and operated funeral home. We specialize in pre-planning and ensure that your needs are met one family at a time. We are here to ensure your last memory remains a special one. Please contact us at 508-473-0513 to let us assist you during this difficult time.
Andrew McCarthy alongside Brett Shams with MyFM 101.3, broadcasting live from Fitton Field in Worcester, Massachusetts. Milford, American Legion, post 59, up big on Shrewsbury, post 397. 10-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. Farazad Hussein is going to continue his work coming on in relief of Lizevsky. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for Milford Post 59. The road ahead is sponsored by Milford Auto Mall. Great selection of used cars. New location at Milford Tire and Service on Route 140 in Hopedale. Your drive is waiting for you. Brett, what does Milford American Legion have on the docket coming up?
Well, unfortunately, they're not coming back to Pheno quite yet. They'll have their 4th road game in 5 games tomorrow. They're at Grafton. That game will be taking place at 7 p.m. Eastern, Shaw Elementary School in Millbury, Massachusetts. Our good friends Joe Rice, Grant Flood will have the broadcast call for you there. Then they return to Pheno this Friday, June 19th, 7 p.m. first pitch. And they'll host Hudson. Andrew and Grant will be on the call there. And they also have a contest this Saturday at Cherry Valley, 11 a.m. first pitch at Rochdale Park with Dylan and Natalie covering your affairs.
Indeed, they're at Rochdale Park this Saturday because this Saturday is also Battle of the Badges. Milford Fire versus Milford Police. I'll be on the call for that one this Saturday at Pheno Field in the afternoon. We'll get the official time in a short moment. I don't remember it off the top of my head. My apologies. But Nick Pedroli leading things off. 3 o'clock Battle of the Badges. Thank you, producer Ty McCormick, for reminding me of the time. A lot of baseball in my head. Tough to remember the times of each game. 3 o'clock this Saturday, Battle of the Badges at Pheno Field. Milford Fire versus Milford PD. Broadcasting live on MyFM 101.3. Be sure to tune in or catch it live in person at Pheno Field in Milford, Massachusetts. The 2-0 for Pedroli. Got away from Hussein. That clips Pedroli. And after pitching a golden sombrero, Pedroli striking out 3 times. He's finally reached base safely, but he had to wear something in order to get there. He's hit by a pitch.
True shout out to our good friend Ty McCormick. Truly a sponge of all things information in the Milford area. You got a question? Go to Ty McCormick.
He was my chauffeur, I should say, on the way to Six Flags this morning, and this man's music knowledge is out of this world. I thought I was impressing some people with my my Motley Crue references earlier, but honestly, if you heard Ty McCormick on the drive to Six Flags this morning, you would absolutely be mind blown. We're actually getting new information. Battle of the Badges, 3:30. So push it back a half hour. Down the third base line, Braden Lewis with a base hit. That gets past Mike Halowski in left field. Pedroli's going to round third as Lewis is going to head for third. Pedroli will score, and just more fielding gaffes by Shrewsbury. It's 11-zip. Milford leads.
So it'll be ruled as a single and an error, so no RBI there for Braden Lewis. It's just a botched play out in right field by Mike Halowski, and that's yet another run unearned for this Shrewsbury lineup. 11 runs with just 5 of them being earned.
That's a 2-base error. That is a double whammy for Mike Halowski over in left field. It was hard hit down the third base line by Lewis. That one's popped up right behind the catcher. Lucarelli is unable to make the play. It went off the protective netting above the backstop. So just a strike one for Jackson Fournier, who reached on an error last time up. And again, the infield playing very shallow. They're going to try to make a play at the plate to ensure Braden Lewis does not cross the plate. Hussein delivers way inside on Fournier. He lets it go for ball 2. Out of the ballparks I saw on that road trip, Brett, we started, I think the top 3 are pretty definitive. Camden Yards in Baltimore, PNC Park in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
For the first time ever, I was able to catch a game at Wrigley Field
Whoa.
in Chicago, Illinois. That one gets past Lucarelli, or he thought it did. He just laid an egg. It was in between his legs the whole time. No runners advance.
Were the vines in the outfield as iconic as people make it out to be?
It was pretty cool. And we sat in the bleachers. It was Sunday Night Baseball, Cubs versus Giants. Low-scoring affair, just a 2-1 Giants win. But the feeling in the ballpark, it was sold out, nationally televised. Fournier fouls that one off for strike 2. But it was aura farming Wrigley Park was Aura Farming.
No
it just
way you
stands
just
there.
said Aura Farming.
It just stands there. Wrigley Field is a jewel of a ballpark. I'm taking the second oldest ballpark in all of America and throwing in some Gen Z terms. That's probably a cardinal sin in baseball, but it's a new age. It's a new day and age. It's the year 2026.
This guy's a certified mogger. Unbelievable.
2-2 count for Jackson Fournier. Hussein delivers. That one is foul on the first base side. You're also able to catch Progressive Field in Cleveland, Comerica Park in Detroit, and Citi Field in Queens, New York.
I've been to Citi Field. It is quite literally in the middle of everything. A quaint little ballpark, but it's beautiful.
And we were there the day of Game 5 of the NBA Finals, and there were a lot more Knicks jerseys than Mets jerseys in that ballpark that day. Luckily, we got out of New York City before the chaos ensued in the celebration in Midtown Manhattan.
I saw a video on X where it was probably about 50 different fans. It was an empty school bus, and they had basically surrounded the school bus, and they prevented the bus from moving, and instead just took a championship WWE belt and just kept hitting the grill for some reason of the bus.
If that gets inside and clips Fournier, he'll take a base at first.
It's probably the most New York City thing I've ever seen.
I'm probably going to say maybe the bus driver should have known that it was Game 5 of the NBA Finals, and New York has a bit of a rap sheet when it comes to the events that occur in the city during a gigantic sporting event. Not only that, but also the Brazilian national team was playing at MetLife Stadium during the World Cup. So there was a whole lot of partying in the streets of New York. It was, sorry, my apologies, New York, New Jersey Stadium. Sorry, FIFA, please do not come at us. Hussein steps off the rubber. Bouchard will reset, as will Hussein. Runners on the corners. Lewis at third, Fournier at first. Still nobody out. It's 11-0 Milford. Way inside. Runner's going to take off for second. Fournier will just jog there. No throw made by Lucarelli, making sure Lewis stays put at third. So now both runners in scoring position for Josh Bouchard.
The rare defensive indifference to second base for Jackson Fournier.
I always forget that's the term. Defensive indifference. 1-0.
Doesn't happen often, especially at this level, but the rare defensive indifference.
Bouchard fouled that off on the third base side, and counts evened up at 1 apiece. I think one of the coolest parts of the trip was catching a AAA game down in Toledo, Ohio.
Oh, the Mud Hens.
The Toledo Mud Hens. And starting pitcher of that game, as Bouchard takes strike two, starting pitcher of that game was none other than future Hall of Famer Justin Verlander, doing a rehab start in AAA Toledo. Place was sold out for him on a Wednesday night in Toledo, Ohio, watching Justin Verlander pitch against the St. Paul Saints. And you know who came out in relief, who I did not expect, not even know this guy was in AAA, much less in the Detroit organization? Kenley Jansen.
What?
Kenley Jansen is a relief pitcher for the Toledo Mud Hens.
I'm going to be honest, I thought he was still with Anaheim.
I had no clue he was in Detroit. I thought he was still a Red Sox. That's how out of touch I was.
Woof.
Yeah. But MLB all-time third place in all-time saves in Major League history is currently pitching in Toledo, Ohio in AAA. It caught me by surprise. I heard the PA announcer say now pitching for the Mud Hens, Kenley Jansen. Swing and a miss by Bouchard. It's in the feet of Lucarelli. He'll throw over to first, and the first out is finally recorded as Crusonis snatches that throw in time.
It's the minute details, and while you can't see it currently here at Fitton, Farzad Hussein came in to cover home as the drop third strike action was happening and Lucarelli threw down to first. It's those little details that you pick up on, and especially as you translate to the collegiate game that, you know, as a pitcher are going to matter so much more when you're in tighter situations. So really good demonstration of some heads-up baseball by Farzad Hussein.
High baseball IQ by Farzad Hussein. Sam Schoenberg up to bat now. He's 0 for 2, but hit a sac fly in the third. Takes that off-speed pitch up high, ball one. Runners on second and third. Fournier at second, Lewis at third. Fouled off by Schoenberg behind him for strike one. Probably the weirdest story from the trip. It was first day. We left bright and early from my house at 6 in the morning. It was just me and my dad. And we originally were going to go to Akron because we're going to Chicago to start. That's outside for ball 2 for Schoenberg. And we're like, let's go see a Rubber Ducks game. Akron's kind of on the way. We'll spend the night in Akron, and then we'll go to Chicago the next day. And I'm like, all right, well, let's look at the promotional schedule for the Akron Rubber Ducks, and let's see if they're giving
I
away
know
anything.
exactly where this is going.
Well, not exactly, but I look on the schedule, and thank God I did, because they were on the road. They were on the road, we noticed, and we're like, can't go to Akron. What are we going to do, go to Akron for no reason? Check out LeBron James's childhood home or something? I don't know. But we didn't want to go to Akron anymore, so what do we do? What are we going to do? And I'm like, all right, well, Akron's just outside of Cleveland, so what's going on in Cleveland tonight? I'm like, the Guardians are on the road. Here's the 3-1. That's high for ball 4, and Schoenberg will take first base, and the bases are loaded for Sam Burchard. So I'm like, all right, let's go to Cleveland, see what's going on, what's happening in Cleveland. Guardians are on the road, and I go into ParkWiz to see parking garages, because that tells you what events are in town. It says tonight, road to 2026, Brazil versus Egypt. International soccer. It was an international friendly soccer match on the road to the World Cup in Cleveland. Now, Cleveland's not an official host, as Bouchard lifts this one into left field. Michalowski runs in and makes the grab. Tagging up from third is Braden Lewis. He will score. Fournier tags up from second and advances to third. And it's an even dozen for Milford, 12-0.
Yeah, just a nice job there by Burchard to lift this one just out of reach in the left field, and Michalowski just doesn't have enough distance to get it back to Lucarelli at the plate. So, like you mentioned, a dozen now for Milford and some extra insurance going into the bottom half.
Brings up Joey McGee, hit a 2-run single last appearance in the 4th inning. If you're looking at the scoreboard at Fit and Field, inning by inning, the scoring numbers for Milford Post 59, 3-1, 3-3-2 for a total of 12 runs on just 8 hits. McGee, first pitch with runners on the corners, inside for strike 1. The Brazil versus Egypt soccer game was just an unbelievable atmosphere experience.
I can imagine.
It was loud, it was chanting, it was kind of split 60-40 in favor of Brazil. Obviously, they're a much more of a powerhouse soccer team, but it was so fun to just take it all in. And America and North America, Canada, Mexico as well, they're experiencing World Cup fever. It's so fun to be able to host this once-in-a-lifetime event. And we've seen all the stories around Boston and the rest of Massachusetts and New England.
I believe there's a gentleman from the Germany national team fan club. I mean, they came over in a herd. And this gentleman has made headlines. He's getting selfies everywhere. He's trying to find celebrities. I believe so.
Way inside, McGee gets plunked on the hip. It wasn't even close. Bases are loaded yet again. It allows Schoenberg to go to second base. McGee's over at first.
But where we're going with this is, in the span of a week and a half, he's managed to score himself front row tickets to Ella Langley, a suite, baseball tickets, home plate.
Yes. Freddie.
Yeah, Freddie.
Freddie's just a German guy who is coming to America to watch the German national team play in the World Cup, and he's documenting all of it on X, or Twitter if you still call it that. And the amount of attention this guy has got. He called the International Space Station on FaceTime. He was in Houston. He was in Houston, and NASA invited him out, and they gave him a phone, and they're just like, do you want to FaceTime astronauts on the International Space Station? And he said, absolutely I do. And they took a video, and it's just right on FaceTime, right on your phone, just calling astronauts in space. I was like, that's the coolest thing ever, just casually FaceTiming the International Space Station. But Ella Langley, you said they were talking to him. There's been signs, like he's crossing into Louisiana, and there's a little homemade flight that says "Welcome, Freddie." This is the coolest story I have ever seen, and I love that people are taking in the sights and sounds of the United States on our 250th anniversary, and people haven't even seen what America is going to be like on the 4th of July just yet, and I can't even imagine.
The Tartan Army on the 4th of July will be a spectacle, so if you're anywhere near downtown Providence, I suggest not being there.
Oh, yeah. The 0-1 to Brady Iarusi with the bases loaded. Swung on and missed.
If you're unfamiliar with the Tartan Army, it is what the Scotland fan base calls themselves. They rented, not one, not two, but 21 yellow school buses to carry them to and from Boston Stadium in Foxborough. And they have been out partying from 6 a.m. to 4 a.m. every day, 7 days straight.
Can't even imagine the traffic on Route 1.
I
My
can't fathom
goodness.
it. They marched into Fenway from Providence with 50 different bagpipe players and thousands of fans.
Outside, part of the plate got him looking. Iarusi is sat down via the strikeout. And that's out number 3. To the bottom of the 5th we go, but Shrewsbury needs some runs desperately. They're down by a dozen. It's 12-0 Milford on MyFM 101.3. Back after this.
Whoa! Oh.
Oops, sorry.
That's fine, honey.
Mom, I'm home from practice, and I brought the whole team.
Oh, the floor. Okay, that's great. No, that's great.
Hey, honey. Can you believe all the rain?
Oh, we need new floors.
Milford Hardwood, South Main Street, Milford. Your hardwood flooring professionals with a large selection of hardwood flooring to meet your budget. Pick up a sample today.
Milford Regional Rehabilitation and Sports Medicine offers physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and sports and services at convenient appointment hours in Milford, Franklin, and Northbridge. To learn more, visit milfordregional.org/rehab. UMass Memorial Health Milford Regional is committed to providing exceptional healthcare services to our community with dignity, compassion, and respect.
Andrew McCarthy alongside Brett Schaafs here in the bottom of the 5th inning at Fitton Field in Worcester, Massachusetts. Milford Legion up 12-0 over Shrewsbury. This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports Network is brought to you in part by Oliva's Market Catering and Gourmet Gift Shop. Make Oliva's your next stop for all your special planned events. And it has been the Tyler Ballard show for Milford in this game. He's going to return for the bottom of the 5th inning, and he's looking to keep the score as is. Assuming Shrewsbury does not score 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, that's going to be the ball game via the mercy rule with Milford already up by an even dozen.
Tyler Ballard has 45 pitches exactly coming into the top half of the 5th. An unbelievable display from Ballard, the Wheaton College Lion. He's also got 4 total strikeouts to his name, so he's got a chance to 5 total strikeouts, I beg your pardon. But he's got a chance to go sub 50 pitches if he can work fast enough here and retire Shrewsbury, which, if you're manager Steve DeVito, that is all sights to see, and that means only 2 days rest for Ballard, and he's available for Saturday's show.
Is he able to hit up my men's league softball game the next night? I think his arm is still good. He can pitch in that one, too. It's still good to go. He hasn't been straining it too much today. Drew O'Connell is leading off for Shrewsbury, and the first pitch, fastball outside, but just got part of the plate, strike 1. Emphatic call by the home plate umpire.
Yeah, this middle part of the Shrewsbury lineup has to work quickly here. You need production fast, but that doesn't necessarily mean jump out to the first pitch you see.
Grounder right back to Ballard, fields it cleanly, underhand toss to first, and there's out number 1, and that took 2 pitches.
And just as we were talking about, it doesn't necessarily mean jump out to the first pitch you see. It means you have to wait for your quality at bat and strike on good contact. Unfortunately for O'Connell there, just reached his hands out just a little too far and rolled over.
Owen Michalowski flew out to center, his one and only appearance so far today. And he fouls the first pitch off for strike 1. When talking to Steve DeVito, obviously when it comes to Massachusetts American Legion baseball, the powerhouses of central Massachusetts and the state primarily, you think of Milford, you think of Shrewsbury. Fall River had a good year last year as well. And Leominster, who beat Milford a couple of days ago, they beat him by a score of 3-1, and it was a game where the Milford offense just kind of fell flat. But what a response against not just last game against Vernon Hill, but this game against a very tough opponent in Shrewsbury. The bats have been lively. They've put runs up on the board, and pitching, mainly Tyler Ballard, I should say, has been lights out. It's been an all-around great effort by Milford today. This one is poked right to the shortstop. Schoenberg fields it cleanly. Throw to first in time by a half step.
Yeah, the game of baseball just has a funny way of rewarding you after tough days like Milford had against Leominster. It was 10K performance for Danny Nelson, Leominster's pitcher, who is committed to UMass Boston, and an emphatic response where you score 34 runs so far through 2 games, and, well, it just goes to show how much of a powerhouse Milford can prove to be when they're on all cylinders.
Swing and a miss. This is Xavier Sanchez, a pinch hitter. This was Braden Lazewski's spot. This is now number 12, not number 2. So now Xavier Sanchez took a first pitch strike. I believe the count is now 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Off speed, a little bit too high for Sanchez.
Yeah, Sanchez takes the spot of Lazewski, the relief pitcher, DH, do it all today for Shrewsbury. And Lazewski was actually the only base runner that Ballard has allowed today on that tough play in right field. So, technically speaking, if we're considering that play out in right field by Bouchard as an error, interesting situation here for Ballard in this last potential batter.
It could indeed be a very interesting situation. Depends on if that Lazewski hit back in the third is ruled as a double or an error. And it's really tiptoeing the border there. Sanchez takes that for strike 2, and the count is full.
Our scoring crew here in Worcester has it as a hit. But if you're considering as a pop out of the glove, a good effort, I mean, it's ruled an error.
Swing and a miss. Sanchez is sat down via the strikeout. 6 Ks for Tyler Ballard, and that's going to do it. That's your final at Fitton Field. 12-0 Milford with a truly dominant performance over Shrewsbury.
Yeah, fantastic showing out of Tyler Ballard. 0 walks out of him, and by our count, 0 hits. Technically, officially, just 1 hit allowed for Tyler Ballard. It is an unbelievable showing, and he gets out of it with just over 50 total pitches.
It really depends on that 1 hit. If it's not even a no-hitter, if that's ruled an error, or technically not a perfect game, my apologies. If it's an error, not a perfect game. But no-hitter if it's ruled an error. Otherwise, just a 1-hitter, but a shutout, complete game in just 5 innings. Tyler Ballard goes the distance, gives up 1 asterisk hit, no runs against, no earned runs, walking 0, striking out 6. Tyler Ballard is the story today. We're going to take a short break, and we will be right back with our post-game show here at Fitton Field on MyFM 101.3.
Baseball season is here, and the Red Sox are back on MyFM 101.3. Catch every pitch, every home run, and every thrilling moment live, right here in the heart of it all.
Swinging a high drive into left field. This thing is back at the wall. It is gone!
Don't miss a game, don't miss a moment. Tune in and listen live all season long. Red Sox baseball, right here on MyFM 101.3.
Are you thinking about buying a new car or maybe looking to refinance an existing car loan? At Homefield Credit Union, we offer competitive rates on new car purchases as well as car loan refinancing. And with our Auto Advisor program, Homefield Credit Union can help you get a fair and competitive price on a new or used vehicle while financing directly with the credit union. Homefield Credit Union, banking with a Homefield advantage. Stop by or call today, 508-839-5493, 138 South Main Street in Milford, and at 86 Worcester Street in North Grafton.
Whoa! Oh.
Oops, sorry.
That's fine, honey.
Mom, I'm home from practice, and I brought the whole team.
Oh, the floor. Okay, that's great. No, that's great.
Hey, honey. Can you believe all the rain?
Oh, we need new floors.
Milford Hardwood, South Main Street, Milford. Your hardwood flooring professionals with a large selection of hardwood flooring to meet your budget. Pick up a sample today.
This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports Network is brought to you by PJ's Restaurants. Enjoy authentic barbecue at PJ's Smoke and Grill in Midway. Award-winning wings, burgers, and steak tips at PJ's Bar and Grill in Bellingham. Or all-day breakfast and lunch at the newly reimagined Miss Menden Diner. PJ's Restaurants, proud supporters of local sports and proud sponsors of the MyFM Local Sports Network.
Hey, this is John, owner of Done Right Asphalt Repair. We handle asphalt paving and repairs, seal coating, crack sealing for both residential and commercial properties. We do it the right way.
When your pavement needs a comeback, make the smart play. Asphalt done right.
DoneRightAsphaltRepair.com.
Hey, this is Ray, the owner of Tailwind Tavern and Hopedale Pizza Market. We've got pizza, sandwich, chicken, seafood, and drinks perfect for the whole family after the game.
From post-practice dinners to game day nights, make the winning stop. Tailwind Tavern in Hopedale, where families win after the game.
Hey, this is Jay with Full Service Junk Removal in Natick. From construction debris to furniture, yard waste, scrap metal, even hot tubs, we haul it all. Need a dumpster? We got you covered. Give us a call at 617-838-4977.
Full service junk removal in Natick, clearing the way for local teams and families to win. FullServiceJunkREM.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Foley, president of Unibank. Beyond banking transactions, Unibank's mission is to serve the Central Mass community through our philanthropic efforts. The more checking and savings accounts that you entrust to us, the more we're able to give back to nonprofit organizations. We have 14 convenient locations across the Central Mass region, and switching to us is an investment in your local community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 583135, unibank.com.
McIntyre Loam is proud to support the fine young athletes, coaches, and local schools featured on the MyFM Media Local Sports Network. For generations, McIntyre Loam has helped homeowners, landscapers, and communities build from the ground up, providing quality loam, mulch, gravel, stone, and reliable delivery you can count on. It's the same commitment to hard work, teamwork, and doing things the right way that we see every time these local teams take the field. McIntyre Loam, proudly supporting local sports and the communities we call home.
This presentation of the MyFM Local Sports Network is being brought to you in part by Oliva's Market, Catering, and Gourmet Gift Shop, providing quality products and exceptional service to the greater Milford community. Oliva's will make your party one your guests will never forget. Whatever your special occasion may be, a stop at Oliva's Market, Catering, and Gourmet Gift Shop is a must. And try Oliva's homemade sausage. Oliva's Market, Catering, and Gourmet Gift Shop, the freshest cold cuts in town.
Don't be fooled by the name Pepperoncini's Pizzeria. It's not just pizza. Pepperoncini's Pizzeria and Grill at East Main Street in Milford is a family restaurant with a full menu for your full family. From their great tasting appetizers to game time wings on the bone tossed in a multitude of different flavors. Pepperoncini's offers catering for all corporate events as well as private parties. For the best pizza in the Milford area, it's Pepperoncini's. Bring the family to Pepperoncini's Pizzeria and Grill. You won't leave hungry. Gluten-free pizza on the menu.
Andrew McCarthy here on MyFM 101.3 along with Brett Schaubs. Milford American Legion improving to 5-1 this season with a 12-0 win over Shrewsbury post 397. They suffer their first loss of the season and fall to 4-1 this year. And welcome to the post-game show, sponsored by Crystal Pool and Spa, the pool supply store that's all about fun. Route 140 in Bellingham, and what a bounce back for Milford American Legion. Again, they suffered that loss versus Leominster, their first loss of the season back on Sunday. Had an absolutely dominant performance against Vernon Hill yesterday, 22-3, and make that now another 12 runs for them. So that is 34 runs and only 3 runs allowed over their last 2 games for Milford American Legion. They are on a hot streak, almost if that loss was not even a blip in the radar for Milford American Legion. It has been a remarkable day here at Fitton Field. The weather was beautiful, and it was a truly dominant fashion. And let's talk about how things started offensively for Milford. It all started with that inside the park home run from Jackson Fournier, and after that, they never looked back. And it's now time to introduce tonight's player of the game, sponsored by Pepperoncini's Pizzeria and Grill. A great menu for the whole family. We're going to announce the player of the game, and listeners, feel free to call the station at 508-473-1490 for a chance to win a $25 Pepperoncini's gift card. And shocker, our player of the game today is none other than the pitcher for Milford American Legion, Tyler Ballard. Tyler is joining us now on the broadcast. Tyler, congrats on the big win. Congrats on the outstanding outing this evening.
Thank you.
5 innings pitched, 1-ish hit. Don't know if it's an error or a hit just yet. Borderline no-hitter.
Yep.
No runs against, none of them earned, no walks, 6 strikeouts. What did you feel out there? You pitched lights out tonight.
I was just going out the mound, trusting my teammates. Them putting up 12 runs makes it really easy for me to just go out there, throw my stuff, and get us back in the dugout.
Going to say, how important was that run support for you, especially so early in the ball game?
Yeah, it's just it changes the game completely because I'm not going out there stressing about not letting runners on base and having them score. So that backup helps.
You had the loss versus Leominster this past Sunday, just a little bit of a blip, but you've responded. This whole team has responded very effectively. 34 runs for, only 3 runs against over the last 2 games. You guys are now 5-1 on the season. How did Coach Steve DeVito kind of reset your minds after that loss when it can usually shake a team?
Off that last year's 20-0 regular season, it's just like we came in the season kind of thinking we were the big dogs, kind of put it on cruise control. So Coach DeVito reminded us after the Leominster loss that we got to still try and come out every day and perform.
Got one more game on the road tomorrow, but then you're back home at Pheno Field this upcoming Friday evening. What are you looking forward to coming back on home field Friday night?
All the fan support at Pheno is amazing. It's just a great environment. Looking forward to being there and playing some baseball.
Tyler, congratulations on being our Pepperoncini's Pizzeria and Grill Player of the Game. Congratulations on the win and the outstanding outing, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Once again, listeners, that was Tyler Ballard pitching the whole distance, 5 innings, as Milford wins via the Mercy rule by a score of 12-0. Ballard gives up just 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, 6 Ks en route to the big win against Shrewsbury Post 397. Again, he's our Pepperoncini's Pizzeria and Grill Player of the Game. Call the station, all you listeners, 508-473-1490. Call the station, and you could be the lucky winner of a $25 Pepperoncini's gift card. Brett, welcome back. Thank you for getting our Player of the Game. Your final thoughts before we close out the broadcast.
Yeah, just a really well-rounded performance offensively for Milford, and more importantly, Tyler Ballard, we heard his thoughts. Working for him consistently, fastball, go-to stuff, and ultimately the off-speed was the closer. So a really good job from the Wheaton Lion, and, well, now you've got 34 runs of momentum to hold yourself to as you prepare for another road trip tomorrow to Grafton.
Again, they got one more road game before returning home tomorrow at Grafton, before returning home Friday night at Pheno Field in Milford. Be sure to tune in to both broadcasts or catch the game in person in Milford. If your Friday evening is free, it should be another lovely Friday evening in the heart of it all. So, for Brett Schaubs, Ty McCormick, our producer, Brady Fontaine, our camera operator, the recording of this game will be on our YouTube channel later on, either tonight or tomorrow. I'm Andrew McCarthy saying so long from Fitton Field in Worcester, Massachusetts. You've been listening to this broadcast of Milford American Legion Baseball on MyFM 101.3.
There's nothing like hometown sports. The roar of the crowd, the thrill of Friday night lights, and the pride of seeing our young athletes give everything they've got. This season, your business can stand right beside them by becoming a sponsor of the MyFM Media Local Sports Network, covering football, hockey, basketball, soccer, and Milford Legion baseball. Support the teams, celebrate the athletes, and stay atop of the mind with thousands of passionate local families who love our coverage. Join the businesses that invest in our community's future. Visit myfmdigital.com to book a meeting today.